All right, welcome to Life Extension Live. I'm Dr. Mike, and I'm so glad you can join us today. And we have what an interview we have coming up. I just wanted to remind you, this is Own My Wellness Week. It's so important. Own My Wellness Week. This is when we talk about being proactive about your health. This is when we talk about accurate information so you can make good choices. And this is about when we talk about protecting your health and wellness. And I'm really excited. So today, joining me are the Nutrition Twins. I don't know if you've ever had the opportunity to meet them and know them. Oh, there they are. They just pop in. That's how they are. They just pop in. They just show up. I wasn't sure if they were there yet. All of a sudden, boom.
Hi, Dr. Mike.
Hi, guys. Great to see you again. So I'm really happy that you're on with us today, and we're really excited. By the way, just so the audience knows, Life Extension has partnered with some of the best registered dietitians in the nation, hands down. And the Nutrition Twins, like the minute I knew we were doing this, I'm like, I need the twins.
I
have to have them for this.
That's so sweet.
I mean, they are nationally recognized RDs. As a matter of fact, what you guys like the top 20 or something nutrition experts on Twitter? I mean, that's huge because how many experts on Twitter are there, right? I mean, that's probably out of like 1 billion people. That's awesome. That's amazing. Hey, do me a favor. And you guys were also, I think, on the Doctors too, many TV shows.
Yeah.
So do me a favor. Tell my audience a little bit more about who you are, introduce yourself, and why have you decided for your career to focus on nutrition?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, we have a long history. We are registered dietitians. We're both personal trainers. I used to be a little older. Now we're the same age, but I do tend to talk more.
Wait, I think she snuck that in there. Hold on.
Used to be, but now we're the same. So, but that's why I tend to try to talk over her a little bit.
A lot more.
So a lot more. So we were always really athletic in high school. We grew up in a really healthy household. And when we grew up and we'd go outside our household, we had this sugar tooth that was crazy. And we eat food that we didn't have at home. And we'd feel really lousy. And when we got to the point where we were just like, we need to really improve our exercise, and like we were soccer players, and we really wanted to perform our best.
Oh, cool. Yeah, nice.
Yeah. We still ate it again, but then we're finally like, we've got to change
when we were like sweating in math class, it's like compared from the sugar high and we needed air.
From a teen sugar
breakfast. It didn't look good, right? It didn't look good.
No, it wasn't a good look for us at all. So we wound up going to college, and we realized that some people feel like that all the time. Like, wow, there really is something so much to this nutrition. We feel really good all the time, and we eat like that, and that's how a lot of people eat, all of the time. How can they continue to eat like this? So we realized, like, we went into school and just knew we wanted to pursue that and help people to feel better, live healthier lives.
That's great. So I mentioned at the beginning, so this is part of the Own My Wellness campaign, so I kind of started off with my idea of what that means. I said something like, it's proactive, it's accurate, good information, it's being protective of your health and wellness. When you guys hear that, when you hear Own My Wellness, like what comes to mind? Like what are the things you think about?
Yeah, that's a great question. So for us, I'm going to speak for us, I think, but we really feel like feeling empowered and taking charge of your own health is so important. And it's empowering from an emotional standpoint for reducing anxiety when you feel like you're in charge of your health, and owning it and taking charge and taking little steps each day to do healthier things for your life.
And there's something to be said about that feeling that Lisa mentioned about feeling in control of your health. It's so empowering. And that alone boosts your mood, fights anxiety, as Lisa said, and makes you a healthier person. And this is something that we kind of look at.
That's great.
Minds.
Yeah, and I think you guys would agree with me when I say this. It's not, you still need the experts, right? You need the nutrition twins to help. You need your medical doctor or your nurse practitioner, whoever your general healthcare, professional is. We need them to help guide us. So when we say own your wellness, we're not saying like get rid of everybody, right? We want
But
you
not
to
at
just
all.
have the good information that comes from like the nutrition twins, right?
Or from
Top
Dr.
20 on
Mike.
Twitter. That's huge. I think I have like 2 followers on Twitter. I don't even know. I don't even know if I use anything. But yeah, so that's great. And I love that we're aligned on like what that means. So we're going to talk about mental health, right?
Yeah.
This is huge right now, right?
Huge.
Mental
It is
health.
huge.
I know I have friends that are psychiatrists, psychologists, social workers, and they are all telling me that people right now, I mean, come on, given the pandemic, everything that's going on, depression, anxiety, nervousness, what's the future going to be? Fear and worry, right? Those kind of things are huge right now. How do you guys deal with this? With your clients, with your accounts, like what do you say about what's going on, and how do you help people deal with some of those emotional issues today?
Right. Well, when our clients come to see us, I mean, right now, especially more than ever, their stress levels are through the roof. They're really struggling emotionally. Some of them are working from home with their spouse at home. Their kids are at home, and they don't have that release. They don't have that social outlet that they used to have, 8 months ago. So they're coming to us. Their cortisol is so high. They're gaining weight. So then they're expanding their waistline especially around their waistline, and they're really suffering. And so we always look at the whole body first, and we look at the whole picture. Diet, of course, plays a major role. We want to make sure they're getting those anti-inflammatory compounds that are going to reduce their stress level. Are they getting their magnesium and their omega-3 acids? All these things that lower inflammation inside are really important when it comes to anxiety and depression. And then also we look at the whole picture. So are they sleeping enough? We have them deep breathe,
Good.
exercise.
Yes. Yeah.
And what we find too is that ashwagandha has been so helpful because it's really great.
Did you just say ashwagandha?
Yes.
That's like my favorite herb. Wait.
We're obsessed. Yes. Tell us about it.
Yeah, well, no, okay. So first of all, let me back up for a sec.
Okay.
You mentioned something before about sleep and stress. Sleep and stress are so interconnected, right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's like huge. And so I know if we can help people deal with stress better during this time, they're going to sleep better. And that's going to help their immune system as well.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's like people don't realize the connection between stress, sleep, and immunity.
Oh,
It's
everything.
there. And this is so important. So ashwagandha, that's it. We call that an adaptogen, right? You're familiar with that classification, right? An adaptogen basically just helps your body adapt better to stress. That's why they're called adaptogens. And at the top of my list is ashwagandha. I have so many family members and friends on ashwagandha, and they don't want to hear anything else from me. They just want more ashwagandha. They don't even care. I show them my my ebooks and my podcast on immune health. They're like, whatever, just send me more ashwagandha. It really is awesome. What these herbs do is, we have our stress hormone, which is called cortisol, right? And cortisol can be it's important to live. You need cortisol to live, but when it's too much, when it's in excess, that's where the problem comes from, and it can damage cells and tissues and organs. And so ashwagandha is like a cortisol protector, like a shield that helps to kind of calm down the effects of cortisol. So it's one of my favorites. Do you guys use this in your practice, or other herbs like ashwagandha?
Yes, absolutely. And what we find with I love everything that you said, because we find exactly what you said. So ashwagandha is so good for reducing anxiety, for lowering cortisol, and it really brings on the calm. So it takes the body out of that fight or flight, that anxious feeling, and it helps it to calm down on the inside. So when Tammy was talking about that anti-inflammatory diet, we're trying to put out fires on the inside. so we can keep the immunity up. And so what happens is when they start taking the ashwagandha, what we see as registered dietitians, which is so interesting, on top of what's going on the inside, we see that normally when people are stressed and anxious, they do a lot of stress eating. So normally they turn towards food.
I do too.
It's human nature, right? We want that comfort food. So instead of us normally turning towards that wholesome food, the ones that are packed with B vitamins and magnesium that relax us, like whole grains and leafy greens and beans, when we're stressed out, we're not
going for that.
No.
We're going
for me, it's carbs.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the processed carbs, right? And so then it winds up stressing the system more, and we wind up overeating it, and that causes weight gain. But what we see with our clients when they start taking ashwagandha is because they're less anxious, it removes that level of the stress, and they're doing much less stress eating, which is incredible.
Yeah, and so that's interesting. So you guys, you use the adaptogen to help people to eat healthier at the end of the day, and that's going to be less inflammation, less stress on the body. I love that approach, right? That's why Life Extension and registered dietitians like the Nutrition Twins, like we have this synergy, right? At the end of the day, I want people just to be healthy. I want people to live good, long, healthy, strong, vibrant lives. And it's food, it's exercise, it's supplementation in some cases here and there, right? All of that plays a role. You know what I like to say, you guys? I'm not in Life Extension. We're not anti anything. We're pro whatever works for you, right? And so diet, exercise, in some cases, supplementation is so important. And I love the way you guys approach things too. Like what you just said, let's reduce stress so they eat better. They eat healthier. That is huge. And I love that. And by the way, the Nutrition Twins, listen, there's a reason why they're like the top 20 in all of Twitter for anything related to nutrition, because they know what they're talking about. Can you guys tell my audience, how can they find you? Because I know there are people watching right now. They're going to want to check you guys out, learn more about you. Where should they go and find you?
Thank you. Okay. So our handle on Instagram and Facebook at Nutrition Twins. Our blog is nutritiontwins.com. So any of those places are great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Awesome. Yeah. And they could come find you, read about what you're writing about, and engage in your conversations. Because I know you guys don't just write blogs. You guys engage with people, right? I already know that. Right?
Thank you, Dr.
That is awesome. So I want to thank everybody for joining us today. You're listening to the Nutrition Twins. Check them out. They're amazing. Listen, in real life, they're just as exciting as they are on Facebook Live. I promise you, I've met them. Thank you guys for coming. So
thank you so much.
This wraps up Life Extension's Own Your Wellness RD interviews. But this whole week, Life Extension is going to be posting content about Own My Wellness. So check all of that out. And by the way, you can learn more at lifeextension.com/ownmywellness. You guys, everybody, again, thank you guys. Love you guys so much.
Thank you. You're the best.
For watching.
So
Everybody
good to
take
see
care.
you. Bye.
Bye-bye.